Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So on this one here, I wanted to break down a lot of new information here. There's quite a bit of new information that I want to talk about. I just want to go through a bunch of stuff here. So I just posted my Q&A video, so that's there. Tomorrow will be the day before the premiere, so I will actually post a sort of predictions video and like final thoughts and predictions and all of that going into the first episode tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And then obviously Sunday I will have my review. I do think I'm going to stream my reaction on Sunday. I do believe that it's likely something that I will do. It just really depends, but I will have a lot more details worked out so that tomorrow I can announce a lot of that. So yeah, just stay tuned for some more details regarding that, but definitely make sure to be a subscriber to get all my Walking Dead Daryl Dixon content like this. There's going to be a lot to talk about over the next, like, honestly, month and a half until the show actually like wraps up or the season actually finishes, right? I think the season's going to finish November 3rd or something like that, and then we'll probably still be talking about the show or other news because they usually release a bunch of stuff here and there. Who knows what we're going to learn at Comic-Con, because there's two events happening next month around October 18th, 19th. I don't know the exact date, I forgot. It's around there though, and that's Palais Fest and New York Comic-Con. So really big events. Scott Gimple's going to be there, so I'm really interested in what he's going to say about Rick and Michonne and the next story for them. A lot to look forward to there. So yeah, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content. I'll break down everything as soon as we do learn the news. But the one thing that I do want to talk about actually is regarding the character portraits. And so I didn't think we were getting the character portraits. I really honestly thought that we were most likely not going to be getting character portraits because it just felt like it was a little bit too late to be getting them at all, but no, we're actually going to be getting character portraits here, which is very exciting because it's just a classic thing for Walking Dead fans, I think, to be excited about in general for the season. I will say they released them way too late though, because like usually with The Walking Dead, the character portraits came out like right before Comic-Con. So that would be like early to mid-July or something, right? And The Walking Dead would premiere in October. So like definitely like you would get it way earlier. You can see what the character was going to look like for the season and stuff. And it was just kind of a cool thing to get in general. Honestly, never really meant a lot too much, except if a character had a different outfit, you'd be like, oh, I wonder why the character has a different look for the season or this and that. But like, yeah, for this, we got this a couple of days ago, and that's kind of late in my opinion, because I don't know, at least going based off of the way The Walking Dead used to do things. And so, yeah, we have a character portrait here of Daryl. We also have one of Carol, we have one of Isabel, and Laurent. So if you notice, that's 4 character portraits. I haven't noticed any other character portraits, and this was, or I saw this here from @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter. So yeah, obviously really incredible Walking Dead account to follow for all Walking Dead news. But if you notice though, I mean, that's 4 character portraits. So I feel like this is our main cast for The Walking Dead this season. Like there's other characters, but they're just sort of side characters in a sense, right? Like these 4 characters are our main characters here for the season. We have Daryl, Carol, Isabel, and Laurent, which I guess makes sense. Like Caudron and you have Madame Genet, they are main characters, but they're like villains, right? Like they're not a part of our group kind of thing. There are other characters, I guess, that could be a part of the group here, but they haven't really established a group at all. Like you have Carol basically going to France, and she's by herself for the most part with a bunch of other characters, and she's going to be with Madame Genet a lot this season. But again, it's just Carol for the most part. And then you look at Daryl, there's a lot of characters around, but like if you just look at the people that are around Daryl and the closest to Daryl, it's just Isabel and Laurent, right? So I just think that it makes sense. Like these are the 4 main characters here going into season 2. And I mean, yeah, it seems like Isabel's going to die, so she's probably obviously not going to be in season 3. And yeah, just very cool to get the character portraits, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it, and the second I saw it, I was like, oh, this feels like old Walking Dead. Like, and this is just amazing. So yeah, I was very happy to see that. But I also wanted to talk about something that they did release here, and this was, I guess, a teaser for The Walking Dead: The Return, and it's for Daryl and Carol, or I guess Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride, actually going back to certain sets on The Walking Dead. And so we see them going to Alexandria and other places. And so really cool to see that, honestly. I wasn't expecting them to actually go to certain locations here. I do wonder what locations they're going to go to. The one thing that I thought was really cool was the fact that you have like Greg Nicotero, Scott Gimple, and other people a part of this, because I believe for Rick and Michonne's, return to Alexandria and all of that, or well, I guess Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera's return, like I think it was just them for the most part. You had other people, but you didn't really have writers, I don't think, or Scott Gimple wasn't there. So very cool to actually see this here, and it's going to be cool to hear them talk about the story overall and just what everything means. I'm really interested in what the set overall looks like and just all of that, because the one thing about a lot of this is that the sets have been taken down, and you just sort of see a lot of that here. It looks like a lot of the sets have been taken down and they're moved to like, I don't know, I guess a certain place, because it doesn't look like it's the same exact like place anymore, because obviously Alexandria has been taken down entirely, and it looks like a lot of the set pieces are just out there somewhere. So I mean, I will say that that is very interesting, because like taking down the set, you don't want to get rid of it because there's value to it, right? Like obviously if you do want to reuse the set one day and whatnot, like you have that. But it is really interesting because you see certain shots here of what looks like Alexandria, but obviously the surroundings isn't Alexandria. So I guess you could just use that, or if you wanted to at some point in the future. Like I see a shot here where it looks like that's something from the prison, but obviously it's not up high in like a tower or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, is this just like on the ground? And like, who takes care of all this stuff? Because I feel like it's going to get old and rusted over time, right? Like you're going to have people go there and take care of a lot of this. So just really cool. Honestly, I'm really excited for this. I think this right here will get me so excited for the season. I'm already so excited for the season, but just watching a lot of this, reliving that nostalgia, I think it just obviously gets you really excited for this season. And I think seeing Daryl and Carol relive a lot of this, it's going to feel like old Walking Dead again. And again, I don't watch The Walking Dead because I want that old nostalgia back of just like how I used to feel about The Walking Dead. I still feel the same exact way. The only difference is, and again, I guess I will be feeling that again right away though, because of the fact that The Walking Dead is airing this fall. The only nostalgic feeling I ever feel about The Walking Dead is I like to watch The Walking Dead in the fall. Watching it in the summer or other times of the year, yes, The Walking Dead has always aired in like the early winter, early spring of every year, but it's just never really felt like The Walking Dead to me. Like whenever the show's coming back and you're settling in every Sunday to watch the show, you should always watch it around the fall time, always in October. Like that's why for me, I'm so happy they pushed it off till the end of September. I still think they should have pushed it off another week, honestly. Like September 29th is in 2 days from now. I think they should have pushed it off until October 6th, because The Walking Dead is a show that should air in October and November. Like to me, when you watch The Walking Dead during that time and it's fall, you know, you're just getting ready for Halloween and you're watching scary movies and all that, you want to watch The Walking Dead. And so for me, that's the only thing that I feel very nostalgic about, was that every year going into the fall and the Halloween season, The Walking Dead aired, and it was always in October, early to mid-October. And it was always so exciting, and it put me in the Halloween spirit right away, like just immediately. So that's why, you know, I always want The Walking Dead to be airing in the fall. That's why, honestly, when I heard that Daryl Dixon was airing in the summer earlier this year, I wasn't the most excited, and I thought that, okay, well, maybe that means August or something. Like I kept trying to like justify it. I was like, well, maybe that just means August or September, because sometimes they, you know, like I was concerned about it, but eventually they announced that, you know, it was pushed off or whatever, and it's coming out September 29th. So yes, we had to wait a lot longer, but I think it's definitely worth it because, you know, there's leaves on the ground now, fall is here, and it's the perfect setting. It's the perfect time to watch The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead is returning in just 2 days from now. Now, also, there's a lot of news right now that I'm not going to really cover just because I just kind of feel like it's a little too silly to cover right now, but there's a lot of casting information that I saw from @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter, and it's casting information for season 3. And I'm not going to talk about it because, I mean, I don't really know any of the actors, first of all. If there was a really notable actor, then I would talk about that, because I'd be like, whoa, this actor is going to be in season 3. But like a lot of the actors here, I don't know who they are. And they announced a lot of the main cast, I feel like. I think a lot of these other characters, I don't know if they're going to be the main cast. We'll see. Maybe at Comic-Con next month, they'll announce a lot of the casting here. But I just think that it's a little silly to talk about season 3 right now when season 2 is about to air, right? Like obviously I've talked about season 3 a lot, but I don't really have a lot of interest in it right now because season 2 is about to air in literally 2 days from now. So I'm just more focused on that. But if you are interested in some of the new casting information, I definitely recommend checking out @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter or X, because there's a lot more information there regarding the cast and whatnot for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon season 3. And again, I don't know if they're going to be side characters or main characters. It's really hard to say, but definitely go and check out @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter or X if you do want to get all that information. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. So definitely post all your thoughts down below on everything that we talked about here regarding, I guess, The Walking Dead, The Return, as well as the character portraits and all that. And also just post some predictions that you have overall for the season 2 premiere, because obviously the season 2 premiere is in just 2 days from now. And I'm very excited. I really cannot wait to watch the very first episode here of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. It's been too long. It's been such an insane wait, and I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. A lot of people are saying that the wait for any new Walking Dead content has just been way too long, and yeah, I just see a lot of complaints about it overall. So let's hope for 2025 that, you know, things are better and that there's a lot more, I guess, content coming out. But for now, we have Daryl Dixon airing right away, and that's going to take us through to really almost the end of the year. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.